Today, we're going to talk about building your AI support system in Monday Service. So before we get started, I just want to run through the agenda. First, an introduction, and we're going to talk about Monday Service, what it is. We're going to do a Monday Service demo using an example of a customer support team. We're going to talk about, during the demo, obviously that specific use case, but we're also going to talk about automations and, of course, AI, how AI really can help support this entire workflow. And then there will be time for questions and answers at the end. So for anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Tara. Really nice to meet everyone. I'm the founder of a company called Simple Day. We are Monday.com consultants. We've been doing implementation for over 3 years now. We've worked with companies all over the world, helping them get the most out of Monday. So we've done a number of audits, implementations, and a lot of consulting, helping companies get started and trained within Monday.com. I work with an amazing team. We're actually all remote, so we all get to work from our own houses in our pajamas sometimes. Yeah, that's a little bit about us. And Simple Day is a gold partner of Monday.com, which basically means that we have a dedicated project, a dedicated CPM within Monday that helps us with our clients and any of our client needs. So let's jump into Monday Service. So for those of you who don't know what Monday Service is a newer product to Monday.com. I'm just gonna give you a quick history lesson. Monday actually started as one platform. They started as, it was called the Work OS, and it was one platform, which what you probably know today as work management. And over the last couple of years, Monday has been releasing specific products that are very focused for certain things. So their biggest product is the Monday CRM. And the Monday CRM is obviously a CRM where you can manage your customer relationships within Monday. And that works together with work management. Monday also released something called Monday Service, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. The other big product of Monday is something called Monday Dev, and that's really a tool for developers to help manage all of their projects and their sprints and everything that they're doing within Monday. So Monday Service is a separate product within Monday, but it is connected to work management, which essentially means that you can have information flow back and forth between the two different products. So a lot of Monday Service is very similar to what if you're on, work management or the CRM, a lot of it's very, very similar. But there's obviously key differences, and that's the reason why it is a separate product. The basis of Monday Service is that it's really a ticketing system. And there's a lot of different ticketing reasons why someone would use a ticketing system, but it's essentially a portal that you can use as a way to manage tickets, requests. Some common use cases that I've seen is IT requests. So for example, one of our customers is a bank, and they have a lot of people on staff, and there's always a lot of IT requests for the IT department. So they use Monday Service, and it's a place to have all those requests come in, keep track of them, triage them, and then obviously have statistics off of them. So IT requests is like a huge area where there's a lot of use cases for that. People also use it for asset management, like kind of connected to IT, but what things did you give out, like computers, screens, whatever it is, did you give out to your team? And then you keep track of all of those different things. Doesn't necessarily have to be internal, but it can. Sometimes I've seen with one example was someone wanted to use it for a warehouse, to keep track of their actual inventory. Another really popular use case is for marketing requests. A lot of times, if you're working in a larger company, there is a lot of marketing requests, meaning all the other departments are asking the marketing team to make creatives for them or make social media posts or videos or whatever it is, and they need one place to manage it. So they use this portal and they use Monday, and it's a Monday Service, and it's essentially a ticketing system. We're going to talk about customer support, which I think this is a great use case for using Monday Service. The truth is that it really doesn't matter what kind of company you have. most companies have some type of customer support. You know, some have full blown out customer support teams that we're talking about the support of their clients, and some have internal customer support or internal support, you know, for the people on, you know, within their company, if we're talking about a larger company. But I think the reason that I chose to talk about customer support today is because I think customer support is like a pretty generic topic that most companies can relate to, because everyone who's working with clients has some sense of customer support that they need to offer their customers. So I want to jump into Monday Service. I'm going to actually do a demo showing you how you use it, and then obviously, you know, to layer the AI layer on top, because that's really what we're here for and the most important part. I want to just tell you a little bit more about the use case that I chose. So in this use case, I chose an e-commerce company. And basically the idea is that there is a customer support department for this e-commerce company, and they get a lot of requests. So they get requests about shipping, they get requests about returns, they get requests about they're having trouble logging in, all kinds of different requests from all their customers, and it all needs to be managed in one place. And that's kind of what Monday Service does. So I'm just going to switch my screen. 1 second. Okay, can I just get a thumbs up? Can everyone see my Monday screen? Yeah, anyone? Everyone's still with me? We're only a few minutes in. Okay, awesome, thank you. So we're jumping in here. You can see that we're in Monday Service, and you can see that Monday Service looks very much like, you know, work management or CRM. It's a little bit of different colors, but it's the same concept that we have within Monday of having a board and having different columns and different groups. I'm not going to go through the basics of it. Now, what really stands out with Monday Service is the fact that you have a portal. So here you can see I have my customer support tickets board, which we're going to get to. But one of the most important things that I have is that I have a portal. And when I open the portal, you can see that it looks like this. This is what external people are seeing. It can also be, by the way, like people in your company, or it can be external people like your customers. In this case, it's the customers of this company. So what you have here is you basically have this portal where customers can log in. They could submit tickets. As you see up here, I have this section for my tickets. And there's also this knowledge base where you have like this, you have this chat bot where I can ask a question. You know, if I need help with something, I can ask a question. This I fully designed, but you can design it with your logos, with your colors, however you want. And then here you see I have different tabs. Now, just for the sake of this example, I made it relatively straightforward. So here you have a Get in Touch tab, and here you have a Help Center. But if you think about the user in this case, the user has the ability to come to this knowledge base and either submit questions or look through your documentation, because a lot of times, a lot of things can just be answered, you know, on a regular page or a regular web page or whatever, is having the information here. So in this portal, the user has the ability to see all the information there. They also have the ability to see all their tickets. We're going to go through this in detail, but I just want to show you, like, we're just showing big picture. You have this portal. Now, the second part of this is that you actually have this ticketing board, and this is where all the tickets are managed. Sometimes I have done implementations where they actually go to work management after this. Like, this is kind of just like their landing spot, and then to actually be triaged and taken care of, they go over to work management. And sometimes they're taken care of over here. But just again, so you know that you can integrate the two different systems. Now here, just to run through some of the boards, sorry, let me just, I'm not sharing my screen. Just to run through some of the boards. So you see we have a portal, which I showed you. Here we have the customer support ticket. Here it's actually connected to contacts. Like, there is a contacts board on within this setup. However, you can also connect this to your CRM. So like, imagine you have clients or all of your customers, you can connect it to your CRM. Now, one big part of the whole customer support department in general is that you also want to get feedback about how your customer support is. I don't know about you, but every time like I, you know, am on a call or a chat with customer support, they always ask me for a survey. So that option is actually can easily be built in to Monday service. So you have the option to send out survey links to all of the people that went through this, and then you can pull all that information into a dashboard. The other thing that I have here, and we'll go through this, the other thing that I have here is I have SOPs. SOP stands for standard operating procedures. Now, this is basically just like information. For this example, I honestly just put it through ChatGPT and just put some text that made sense with it. But here's some information like how to deal with login issues and how to deal with refunds and how to deal with shipping. But having all of this information in one place, is good for your customer support team because then they have it there. But also, these are things that we're using on the knowledge base for the clients. And we'll jump into that and I will show you how it works. So what I want to do is I want to show you first how it works overall, and then I'm going to jump into the specifics of the setup so that way you can see. And then this is really where you see all the cool part and everything that can really save you a lot of time with the automations. So I'm going to start over here on the portal. As you can see here, I have all of the different information. So like, let's say as a user, I come in and I say, oh, I want refunds for my product, or I never got my product. What do I do? So I can open up shipping and you can see here that it is going to lead me to this document. You can see this document, which it could be like a questions and answers. But I'm going to go back here and I'm going to get in touch with the customer support team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this and you'll see that this opens a form. This is a Monday form. And here I set up questions. You can see that some of them are required, some are not. I can say, I'll just leave my subject, help, I can't find my package. Okay, so I will leave my name, my email. Okay, and I ordered something 5 weeks ago and it never arrived. So here, pretty basic, but I'm going to submit this. And now let's go to our portal. And here you can see my submission came in. So again, pretend like I'm an outside person. Help, I can't find my package. That's like the name of my ticket. Here's my description. Here's my requester name. Now, what you can see happened here is that these two columns automatically populated. And I actually used AI columns for that, which we'll get into explain, how they work. But here you can see that it automatically set this as high priority for the agent, the customer support agent that's managing this. And it also set the request type. The request types are like issue questions or requests. And here you could see like I have some other information like a ticket ID, the creation date, my email address. There's also, if you want to add into this, there's also like resolution time tracking that you can automatically start time tracking or you can end time tracking basically whenever you, in order to keep track of the time that it takes to resolve tickets, because that's something that's usually important to customer success teams. You want to make sure, or customer support, you want to make sure that a ticket doesn't sit for, X number of days and no one takes care of it. So what happens is this comes into unassigned tickets. Now you can set a automation for who the person's going to be. Just for the sake of this, Rosa is going to be the customer support person. And you're going to see what happens is that it moves to this open tickets. So here we can see all of our open tickets, which is really important because for a manager, if you want to go here, you could just see like how many tickets do we have, how many critical, how many open. You can have all this data based on your different tickets. Now let's just open up my ticket. And this is something that actually makes Monday service really unique, is that you have this view. This is very similar to anyone who's using the CRM. This is very similar to the CRM. You have these different columns that you can customize however you want. You can see here, I've customized them by ticket info. So this is like the information on the ticket. Here is my timeline and basically it's called emails and activities. It's an app within Monday, but here's what you can email and you track all your activities. So we see a whole history of everything that's going on with the client. So you can see here, the first thing is that the form was submitted. And then there's actually a portal message that's saying your conversation has been routed to the team. They'll get back to you soon. Okay, and here you can see that I have contact details. I decided to divide it this way. You can easily edit these sections depending on how you want to do it. So what happens is basically a ticket has been submitted. Now, as a user, as a customer success, I can write back. I can write to them, hi, what is, let's just say, your order number? Okay, so I can write to them, what's your order number? And I just sent that email to my personal email, and you're going to see that it's going to show up in a second. Sometimes you need to refresh, so I'll just refresh to make it go a little faster. But basically, you can manage your conversation here. Now, what happens is when I sent that message, so you can see here that it changed to awaiting, I don't want to open it, awaiting customer feedback or response. So you can easily see like, okay, what things are we waiting for a customer for? What items are, already being taken care of? You have like this high level view of where all of your tickets are, which is like very easy for a customer service rep to be able to manage it. So I am going to just go on to another screen and find that email. 1 second. Let's just see if it opens over here. So here you can see that it was sent to me, and here's the information. Sorry, I just closed it. And the information was sent to me. I am going to just refresh my email 1 second, and I'm going to send a reply because I just want to show you how it works. Okay, I just wrote an email back from my personal email. I just wrote an email back to the system. So we'll give it a minute for it to show up. But as you see, there's this back and forth going on within Monday. And here you can see, see if you notice the status changed to new reply, because there's an automation that says when I get a new reply to notify me. So what that did is it put it back into the group of open tickets. So one of the ways that we're using automations, and again, this isn't even AI for most of this, this is just regular straight up Monday automations, is that we're using these automations to keep track of getting responses from customers. And we have this back and forth. And then the customer service team really knows what exactly needs to be managed and what doesn't. Another thing that I added that I just want to show you is I added this column with a formula, days since submitted. So that way we can keep track of the time. And again, this is something that's just good for on a management level to understand how long on average, how long does it take you to respond to all of your tickets? How long do tickets, you could do by response, how long overall, just different data that you're going to want to have. Now, just to continue the flow, because I just want to show you the flow, and then we'll get into the details, the real details about how it's built. So you can see here that I have the summary. Again, we can go back and forth with the replying until it's resolved. And you basically have these different statuses where you can hit resolved, not resolved. You have these different statuses. So what I want to do is I want to show you how this whole system that we just reviewed, how it was built out. I want to show you the automations, and I want to show you the AI parts of it. Now, there's a lot of ways that AI and automations is integrated into this, which really at the end of the day just saves you time. So I want to actually start on the portal. So if I go over here and I go to portal, you can see here that I have all of the details of the portal, and this is where I would build out my portal. You can see that I can name it whatever I want. I have a unique URL. Like maybe you want to put this as part of your website, and you can just use it as your website, on like the contact page or the customer support page of your website. I can change the primary colors. I have options for backgrounds. I can add my logo to it. There's a lot of customization that you can do. Then in terms of content, so these are almost like groups that you see within boards. And if I look back just to show you the portal, see we have this get in touch and the help center. So we have these two different sections, and that corresponds to these two different groups over here. They just look a little bit different. But essentially, if I open it, you can see that I have get in touch. And here is all the information that I have about that link on my portal. So I have, I'm choosing you have to use either a work form or a link. So I'm choosing my work form or my link. I have a title, a description. I choose which group it's in. I can add a label, here it's a form, so it has a label, and I can add an image. But if you look here, you can see that I can easily reorder them. I can delete them. I can duplicate them. This is kind of how you manage the information that is showing up over here within your portal. Now, after my portal, one second, I also have some security options, and I also have the options for users. So there's different types of users that can have access to this. Like I said, if you want to enable non-Monday users, you can do it. Here they're not, but they can be. A lot of times people use this as an internal tool because they have a big enough company where they can use it internally. And a lot of times people use this externally. They use it for their customers where they can submit information. This is what the portal looks like, okay? Now, if I'm going to go to I want to show you how we built out this customer support board. I actually started with a template. So if you click the plus, if you go over here, you can see you have service templates. There's tons of templates. If you want to start with them, you can. I usually say, like, if you can start with them, why not? And then you can customize that from there. So I started with the template, which has these different views on top. The one thing that you need to do is you need to connect it to a channel. Like, where is this email coming from? I do know that Monday's plan is that they're going to add different channels. I think here you only have a Monday inbox or Gmail or Outlook. You can see here that I made up this new email address, cs@simpleday-team.monday. That's our Monday slug. And it automatically comes up here. But you can connect different channels. Like, usually people have like a customer support email address, and then all the requests come here, which solves another problem of transparency, because a lot of times if a team is not working together, like they each have information in their inboxes, and let's say they're on vacation or they have to take sick leave or whatever it is, here everyone has access to all of these different emails. So I connected to channels. I showed you already some of the formula about the days. I want to show you some of the automations that I set up and some of the AI columns. So the first AI column that I set up is this priority column. And essentially, you can do this autofill with AI. And I'll just deactivate it just to show you how it works. You can see that it removed that little star. And if I click on it, so I can either auto assign the labels, or I can set a custom prompt. Like, I can say, if someone says this, then set the priority to critical or whatever it is. Here, to make it simple, I just did the auto assign, and here's the way that it's assigned. If I want to add additional instructions, I can. The AI bot here really will take your instructions, and then this is how, like, you customize it for your company, which is really great. I did the same thing to figure out what kind of issue is it? Like, is it an issue or a question? Now, you may not want to have these options. You can very easily change them, just like you edit any board. You can edit it, you could delete these columns, or you can change the prompts directly within it. So that's one way that you can use AI in this workflow. The next way that you can use AI is if you click here. So you'll see that you have this AI ticket summary. Now, on my portal messages over here, you can see that it's telling that the message was automatically routed to a team member. Like, that's what it's telling the person who submitted the ticket. But once you have a lot of tickets and they're the same repeating things, the AI bot actually learns, and then it can start automatically replying to these questions. So here, if you have this AI auto reply, you have different options of, like, the certainty level, low, which is more auto applies but less accuracy, medium or high. So you can decide how good. I definitely recommend testing this out. This is a newer feature. You can see it's still in beta, so I definitely recommend testing this out. But this is another way that you're using AI, because when someone asks the same question a million times, here you can have the AI automatically respond for you. The next way that you can use AI this is something that's new. It's called Sidekick. If you click on this star, so here you can see that Sidekick will open for you. And here it's saying like, hi, Tara, how can I help you move forward with this item? It gives me some options, draft a follow-up email, analyze resolution time, but I really could ask it anything that I want. Like maybe I can say, how many times has this customer come to me over the last, I don't know, year? Or is this a new customer? Like you can ask Sidekick all of these questions right within this ticket, which just makes it really, really helpful. Another way that you can use AI is to actually help you write the emails. So if I want to reply and write an email, so you can see here, I have the same AI assistant. Here it's just showing me some examples, but I can say, write an email to the client saying, we're really sorry you lost your package, whatever you want. So we can fill it in and you can copy it and you can put it here and it will add the AI email that you have directly into the email. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use AI here. Just to review some of them, like we said, Sidekick, auto reply, helping with the emails, and then helping to categorize all the information. You also, one other way that I saw teams, this is really for sales teams, but there's no reason that doesn't apply here, using AI is you can automatically, if you have their address, you can automatically assign it to a certain rep. Like maybe you have reps that work within certain locations. So you could say, okay, if they're, I don't know, in this state, then assign it to this rep. If they're in that state, assign it to that rep. So you can use AI to really do these routine tasks of like assigning people, you know, reading the information, trying to understand the sentiment, understanding everything that's going on, and then to use it to give you insights and to help push it forward. I do want to jump into some of the automations because I think they're important to see. So there's some standard automations about, when status changes to this, move it to this group. When it changes to that, move it to that group. I think the automations that are not as clear and that are important to note are these automations that have this little red envelope, and these are from emails and activities. Emails and activities is a Monday.com app that came with the CRM, and it's also used here within Monday service. And just to show you one of them, when a new email is sent, then set the status to awaiting customers. So it's basically, instead of me having to change the status to say, okay, I sent an email to a customer, it's automatically doing that. On the reverse side, when a customer replies to me, I also have the option to see what they say, to get a notification that they've automatically replied to me. So I just want to show you, if you click on here, I open up the item card and then you can click the gear icon and you can see here, I can click on email automations and it's going to open the same thing that you would see in the automation center, but these are all the emails and activities automations that you can set up, and this is just like a further way of customizing this. You can see there's a whole bunch of them. This is just a further way of customizing this whole system so that way it makes sense for you. I would say, just to summarize, I think that what we've shown here is how you can use Monday service as, doesn't have to be a customer support team, but you can use the AI to help support your processes. Here we spoke about customer support. You can use it to really help save you a lot of time, automatically categorize things, automatically assign people. But it's one of the coolest things that I think about this is that this is all part of the Monday system. Like they really integrated it within the platform. So there's a lot that you can do just to get the data, or have the system even analyze the data for you. So you don't necessarily have to be doing all of the manual heavy lifting. So that was just a few ways that you can be using Monday.com. And I guess if there's any questions, I'm happy to take any questions about Monday service, using AI. I will say, just like on a side note, if anyone hasn't seen, there was an update that came out this month about Monday AI and how they're billing for Monday AI. Monday actually just changed that. It seems like instead of giving you a monthly allowance, you're getting like a one-time allowance, and then you have to purchase credits. Sidekick does not count towards those credits. Oh, I see someone even asked that question. Thank you, Rosa, for posting the questions. So it is something new that Monday just rolled out. And, I think it's going to take them time till they get settled with this new plan. And it's not necessarily going to roll out to all accounts at the same time, but they are making changes to how you have to pay for AI credits. Okay, any questions? I think if anyone wants to unmute their mic and they have a question, they're welcome to ask. If not, I will jump to the questions that Rosa posted. Okay, so I'll start with Rosa's questions that she posted that people submitted. So thank you for submitting them. The first is, how does Monday charge for AI credits? I just covered that. The second question is, can you have more than one portal in service? Yes, this is something that Monday recently released. You can have more than one portal. It is still in beta, but basically you can have a lot of different portals. So you can have a portal like this for a legal team, for a customer support, customer success, IT. You can have it for a lot of different types of teams. Okay, next, what are the different kinds of AI columns? So I'm going to jump back here. And this is a great question because there's so many different AI columns that people don't even know about, and they really can help you manage your work much more efficiently because they automatically do things for you. So if you add a new column and then you go to more columns and you click on more columns again, and we're just going to search for AI. You can see all the different AI columns here. So you can translate, which is really cool. Like, I actually had someone who had a board that was in Spanish and English. So here you can automatically translate everything to one language. Assign labels, you can prioritize. That's what we did. We prioritize and we also assign labels. You can assign people. You can have custom prompts. You can detect someone's sentiment, like if they're really happy or they're really upset. Extract information from a file, generate docs, write with AI, summarize updates, and improve text. So there's really a lot of different kinds of columns that you can use, and I definitely recommend that you check them out. Okay, any other questions before we wrap up? I'll give everyone another minute if they have any more questions. Okay, I see it's a quiet group today. So just in summary, first of all, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I do want to say that if you need some help with Monday.com, we are offering a complimentary 30-minute consultation. We will send out the recording with a link for that, and we're happy to meet you and see how we can help you optimize your Monday setup. Again, a copy of this webinar will go out later this week. Thank you very much for joining. I hope that this was helpful and you learned something about Monday Service and Monday AI, and I can't wait to hear about the different things that you guys are building with Monday Service. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone, and I guess enjoy the rest of your day.
Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and remember to subscribe to receive tips and tricks on how to use Monday.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.